Good morning, everyone. Let's see if some of you recognize this song. It's about 40 years old. Who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. Oh, who are the people in your neighborhood? It's the people that you meet each day. Sesame Street. Now, I don't know where their theology is today. But that was spot on. Spot on. 40 years ago, that good theology unfolding in a good way. The reality is that if we look at the gospel, we find out who our neighbor is, and specifically, it's important for us to know that where this scribe was coming from, he was coming from a good understanding of the law. In Leviticus 19, it says clearly who your neighbor is, and that is your fellow Israelite. Okay, it was not talking about everybody. Now, there are other laws, also in Leviticus, where it explains that you don't mistreat other people, but your neighbor is your fellow Israelite. And Jesus makes a clear distinction. Okay? It's not just your fellow Israelite, but it extends more than that. It's to everyone. In the fullness of time, the revelation of Jesus Christ, He's enlightening their minds and helping them to understand. So our neighbor, what are we supposed to do with regards to that? Well, there's a couple of things, couple of levels. First of all, in prayer. Now think about it. When is the last time that you prayed for somebody who is an opposite politically that you are? Somebody from the other party. When you've thought of them and you've prayed for them in an earnest way. See, they're your neighbor. That's what Jesus is saying. When's the last time that you prayed for a person that has hurt your family? When's the last time that you prayed for somebody that you're angry with and you're in conflict with? There's no conflict resolution happening right now. Are you praying for them? Has somebody kind of dismantled what you were building? Are you praying for them? So I always preach to myself first. So, as this was unfolding, yesterday I just sat down and prayed for all of those people. And I hope you will too. See, because that's who our neighbor is. So these people and certainly those that we love. Now that's the first level. The second level really is service. In other words, do I see a need? Yes, there's a need here. Do I have the capacity to meet that need? Yes, I have the capacity to meet that need. They're everywhere, okay? Is it thoughtful for me to meet that need? What? Is it thoughtful? No. Okay, well, we took care of that one, all right? Or how do I know? And we go to Deuteronomy, and we see it being proclaimed that this is not in the sky. It's not the answer is not across the sea. It's right on your mouth and in your heart. See, the thing is, when our neighbor is in need and we can meet that need, and it's thoughtful for us to meet that need, we know. You know. I know. There's something inside of me that is impelling me forward to do this. And very often, and there's our challenge today, is that we resist that. We squelch it. We close our ears to the voice of God. And very often, if we just listen, if we allow Him to impel us forward, then always afterwards, even though it's a sacrifice and it's a challenge, then, there's something that we're so glad that we made that sacrifice because it brought life, forth life in that person and in us also. Now, I mean, you have to be careful, when you're tender to that. I remember when I must have been in my 20s, and I went to this wedding reception, and I was sitting next to this lady, and I was, back then I would have described her as an older woman. She was about 52, which that's my age now. All right, so, oh man. So we're sitting next to each other, and I think there was carpet on the floor, and so she's having a little bit of difficult time pushing the chair back and getting up, and I noticed, and well, when she did that, she struggled for a little while, I got up and I pulled the chair out for her, and she went off and came back, and I slid it in, and I sat down there, and so now I'm kind of very aware of this need, and the ability to fulfill it, and now I think it's thoughtful to do that. Well, another time she kind of leans over and gets up a little bit, and so I immediately grab the chair and pull it out. Now she just sat down again, boom, right to the floor, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, and she laughed, thank the Lord, and so I helped her up. So she was not in need at that time. It was not thoughtful for me to do that. So we make mistakes as well. But who is our neighbor? On the level of prayer, on the level of service. Who is our neighbor? It's the people that we meet each day. And we listen to our heart and to our mind. And when he speaks to us, we do it.